Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Pedestal Wife Society. My name is Brill. If this is the first time you've been here, welcome. So I would definitely need someone to jump in the live stream just to let me know that you can see or hear me, and just to let me know that the audio is great, it's fine. Before I jump into the conversation today, we're going to talk about hypnotizing men, money, and marriage. So if you would not, I would love for a inner circle member or a pedestal wife to jump over to YouTube just to let me know that you can see and hear me before we get started. And then I find out later on that the audio or the video isn't correct and you can't hear and see me. So hello, hello, hello. Instagram, the mean being, hi, I can see you, hear you. Thank you so much, love. Thank you. So I just need a pedestal wife or in circle member to jump in my comment section. Thank you, Joy. I can definitely count you. Thank you, Suzanne. Hello, 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 ladies. All right, all right. Hey, Ink 72. So I'm so happy to see the Pedestal Wives and In Circle members in the building. I appreciate you so, so much and your support of this content. But let's talk about something that's so important. The more that I continue to do this, the more that I continue to see that women are demagnetizing themselves from getting men, money, and marriage. The thing is, the things that you want, all of them are on the same energetic wavelength. All of them require the same things. So if you can get money, you can get men, and you can get married. A lot of people would say that that is not so. And I'm going to tell you that the same beliefs that you have surrounding money, that money is easy, that money is not hard to obtain, that money comes to you in unexpected ways, is the same belief that you need to have for men and marriage so that you can magnetize yourself to receiving those things. But what I found that women, they will be magnetized for money and have these wonderful beliefs surrounding money, but then they'll demagnetize themselves when it comes to men. I have something I'm going to show you, but like you all can't see it on Instagram. So you definitely want to join the YouTube live stream. You're gonna have to jump into my stories, and the link is there, and I'll carry you right over to YouTube. So when I get ready to present that, I'm gonna close out Instagram because you can't see what I'm gonna show you all. But going back to the topic of conversation, hey Hessie, if you are magnetized for money and you have great beliefs surrounding money, you believe that money comes to you in unexpected ways, money comes to you in all ways in life, and money is easy for you to get. Don't you hear all the time where women are saying, well, money is easy. I can get money anytime, but finding a high quality man, that is hard. And it isn't. What's holding you back from being able to get all the things that you desire and having and being able to hold everything that you want in life is because you have demagnetized yourself from being able to hold men. That is the reason why you'll come across women who have all this money and all this wealth and all this abundance, but then they have a hard time dating. They cannot, for the life of them, connect with a high quality guy that's going to improve their world overall. And that is because of the beliefs. The beliefs, I don't think we realize how important our beliefs are and how they affect our lives. Because when what happens with your belief, when you have a certain belief, it can bring up certain emotions. And those emotions, when you go on dates, you resonate in that emotion. So let's say you have been through so many different things with men. Maybe the last guy that you were with, he wasn't a provider. He didn't protect you. He cheated on you. He treated you like dirt. He disrespected you. And since you're going into this and you haven't resolved any of those emotions surround that situation or the beliefs that come with it, you go on dates. And so when you go on dates, instead of him being able to feel you, he can't feel you at all. And when I say feel you, I'm not talking about filling you up under the table. I'm not talking about getting fresh with you either. I am talking about being able to feel the positivity, feeling feel you as a human, as a woman. He can't feel you. He can't connect with you. And what happens, you just show up and resonate in that fear. So instead of you being open and being willing and having conversation that's in flow, you have stilted conversations. So you're trying to hide yourself from him. You're trying to protect yourself from him. You're too busy in your head trying to figure out how do I make sure that he's not like the last guy? How do I make sure that he isn't going to mistreat me? How am I going to make sure that he isn't going to disrespect me? So this affects how you show up on dates. And so you're demagnetizing yourself to men. And this may be, that may have been your person, or it may have not been your person. We'll never know because you are so caught up in the feelings and emotion that you get. And they're based off of previous experiences that you had with men. They're based off on your beliefs around men. So This is the reason why you come across so many women, and they'll be winning in abundance and money comes to them free flowing and easily. But then they're not winning with high quality men. And therefore, since they're not winning with high quality men, they're not winning with marriage. And I've come across in my own practice with my one-on-ones and the women that I work with, I've come across women who date millionaires, okay? But they can't get a proposal to save their life. And I'm like, what's going on here? And when I dig a little deeper, I realize that they are magnetized for money. They're magnetized for men. They know how to attract men. They know how to allure them, and they know how to connect with men. But when it comes to marriage, they have certain beliefs that make sure that when they show up talking about marriage, those beliefs come out. So they start talking about, oh, all of the good men are married, or they talk about how most men that are married cheat, or how marriage is not, for everybody, even though they desire and they want that for themselves. So when you decide, or when you figure out that you are demagnetizing yourself from these things, and that is the reason why you're not able to have the men, the money, and the marriage. All of the things that you desire, if you learn how to magnetize yourself and bring in those beliefs and reframe them, you can bring in anything that you want, because all of them are on the same energetic level. And so now this is where I need to go and bring up something I have for you all to show you all, so I can show you and break down the energetic level and teach you how you can bring these things in for yourself. Because if you can have money, you can have men, you can have marriage, you can have abundance, you can have love, you can have care, you can have friendship. None of these things can be denied for you when you learn and approach your beliefs and reframe them. Not only approach and reframe them, when you approach your beliefs and reframe those beliefs, you resonate differently and you show up differently. You're going to exhibit different behaviors to men, to money, to marriage, to love. And when I realized this, it was a game changer for me. Now there's nothing denied to me. There's nothing that I cannot have. Like when I tell you, you change, you reframe your beliefs, and you change the behaviors and the way that you show up, and you vibrate energetically differently, you attract things to you. I'm not chasing anything. Money loves me. Men love me. Marriage adores me. Abundance chases me. Everything that I want, I can have. There's nothing denied to me. Only reason things are denied to you because you have certain beliefs and certain stories surrounding the things that you want. Certain things are very easy for you because you have great beliefs surrounding it. A lot of us know that if we want money, even if we're not willing to be in flow and alignment for money to come and be attracted to us, we know that we can go work for money. We know we can go pick up a little job and pick up a little change and we can have some money. So we know money can be very easy. But what happens when it comes to like high quality men? A high quality divine union marriage with full of connection, full of love, full of joy, full of happiness, having all of this and more, that sometimes scares us because we already know we have beliefs surrounding men, and then therefore we have beliefs surrounding marriage. Some women truly do believe that all the good men are taken, that men are not going to be true to you or loyal to you, that they're just going to cheat on you. And that's the way that they have been able to be okay with just the crumbs of a man and not a full man, full in depth and owning his masculinity. So, but there's something that I want to show you all. And so I'm going to have to cut Instagram and just finish up on YouTube so I can show everyone the diagram that I have that's going to explain this a whole lot more so we can get in detail about how you can change these beliefs, because it's your beliefs that's demagnetizing you from bringing the things that you want in your life. There is nothing denied from you. There is nothing that you cannot have. Just because you have money don't mean that you have to be broke to have money. Don't mean that you have to be broke to be loved. Stop listening to these people who say that you have to be broke in order to have a high quality man. Stop listening to these people that tell you that marriage has to operate in only this way. Stop listening to these people not understanding that these are all agreements between yourself and that thing. And you decide, you create the agreement, they do not. So whatever you're not open for, whatever you do not desire, then you're not a match for. And you don't have to settle for something just to get the crumbs of something. You can get everything. You can have all the things that you desire and all the things that you want. And so I'm going to finish this up on YouTube. Thank you, Instagram, for being here. I appreciate you ladies who stayed on all the way to the end of this. If you want to continue, the link is in my stories and you can come over to YouTube. See you on the next one. All right, so now I can kind of focus on one thing. Thank you, Miss Concrete Rose 93. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Uh, Let me go here, and we're gonna share and bring up something I have for you all. Wow. All right. Here's a chart that I have for you all. Hey Lillian, here's a chart that I have for you all. I'm trying to see. I wonder, can I make it bigger? Can I make it bigger? Okay. So here's a chart that I have for you all. Hopefully you all can see and hear me, because this is going to be so important to the conversation. If you actually look at the chart, at the top it says emotional spiral ascending, and it has certain emotions like joy, patience, learning, happiness, acceptance, playful, worthy, cheerful, gratitude. And then if you look at the bottom of the chart, it says descending, and it says fear, insecurity, grief, failure, hatred, heartache, frustration, judgment. All right. So what does this truly mean? When you have certain beliefs, these emotions can attach to that belief, and then you will show up within feeling that emotion. You'll show up resonating with that emotion. So let's say, for instance, I'm on a first date, and I had an experience or a background where a man, he was very unfaithful, he wasn't very honest, and I'm still fearful that I'm going to run into that same type of man. So instead, when I go on that date, I'm resonating with my fear. So you can feel that fear coming off of me. I don't have to say that I had the experience of a man cheating on me or a man being unfaithful to me. It's going to come out in my body language. It's going to come out in my communication. It's going to come out with my interactions. This is the things that women don't get. They think, oh, if I can hide it and I can pretend that I've always had this type of, care. Like you hear this all the time on social media. Women are saying, hey, just go on dates and pretend that you've never had any of these experiences. Now, I'm not saying that you need to overshare and tell men that you haven't, that you had these experiences or haven't had these experiences. That doesn't matter. But when you haven't dealt with it, you haven't released it, and you continue to carry that fear within you, and you go on dates, what happened is he's going to get the guarded version of you. He's going to get the fear version of you, where you have your guard up, and he can't really feel you. Everything is somewhat constricted, and that's what it means with descending emotion. Descending emotions means that there's a constriction, and you're holding yourself apart from him. There's a block. He cannot feel you. So you're so in your head with your fear of being experiencing that again, because you don't want to go through that again. That heartbreak, that heartbreak broke you. It broke you. It made you feel less than. It made you feel not worthy. It hurt your self-esteem. And so you don't want to go through it again, but you haven't done the work to release that fear. So you continue to go on dates thinking that if I just do what they tell me to do, I go and do what all the girlies tell me to do, go on dates and pretend that I've never had any bad things happen to me. And he figures it out through your body language. He figures it out through your energy. He figures it out through the interactions and conversations that he has with you. Because what it sounds like is going to be more of a stilted form of conversation that you're going to be able to give him. More of trying to figure out how not to let him know anything about you, how to keep everything a secret, how to keep yourself away from him so you don't have to ever experience that heartbreak. Men can feel that. So you demagnetize yourself from being able to attract and bring him in, because he doesn't get to feel you, your heart and your emotions. He doesn't be able to feel your joy. He doesn't be able to feel your self-love. He doesn't be able to feel your freedom, your security, or your trust. He doesn't feel anything of that. He feels all your fear. And so you demagnetize him. You demagnetize yourself for men, and then therefore you demagnetize yourself for marriage. And you don't have to live in that manner. If you learn, and I'm going to tell you a secret. I'm not this person 100% all the time where I'm just like just a playful, fun of joy. Sometimes I wake up on the wrong side of the bed also. My goal is never, because I don't want to demonize the descending emotions, because they are so much needed. It's in the descending emotion that you learn that you learn more about yourself. It's in the descending emotions where you transform, you become better. So I'm not demonizing them and saying you can't ever have any anger, you can't have any fear, you can't have any hatred, you can't have any heartbreak, you can't have any rejection, because it's in those moments that you transform. Those emotions help you transform so that you can have forgiveness, so that you can become empowered, so that you can become patient. So what I do, if I'm in here in that gray area of descending emotions, I'm going to go in and I'm going to journal. I'm going to release that emotion. I'm not going to harbor it because I don't want it to affect my how I show up and how I, how people feel me, if people can feel me. Because when you're in those descending emotions, a lot of times they can't feel your heart. They can't feel who you are. Your energy is off. And it demagnetizes you from bringing in the things that you want. If you really want to attract easily, you have to learn to take yourself from those descending emotions to at least neutral. You don't have to get into a space because maybe your personality is not one of joy. Maybe it's not one of playfulness. Maybe it's not one of always being happy. Maybe it's not one of always being hopeful. But if you can get yourself to a point of neutral, where you're neutral, and then you can get yourself into a state of at least acceptance. And that is what I do. Since I don't have that, where I'm going to be 100% always constantly happy, always constantly being giddy and giggly. That's not my personality. That's not who I am overall. If a lot of you've been following me for a while, you already know I'm somewhat serious, especially when it comes to my life. I take this to me, this is not a joke. This is not a joke because this affects how I'm going to live my life, how I'm going to experience it, the joy that I'm going to be able to feel. So I take it super serious. So I'm not that playful, giggly, always, telling a joke type of person. So if I am waking up on the wrong side of the bed and I feel somewhat discouraged, or maybe I feel somewhat in despair, I'm going to get myself back to neutral through me journaling so that I can get myself at least into self-acceptance. Getting into self-acceptance, that is in the ascending emotion. It's one of it gets me out of that space where you can still feel me. You can still feel that I am trying, working on myself, and it brings me back to being magnetized to the things I want. So let me go ahead and take this down. Let me take this down and get back to my chat. I'm not sure. Oh, that's why. All right. So hope you all saw that. Y'all, it didn't let me know if you could see the graph or not. I hope you did. So men also show up like that. He tries to hide things, but it comes naturally when talking to, or is there a difference? Men have their own paradigm also, but your job is not to worry about him. Your job is not to worry about his paradigm. It's not to worry about his shifts. It's just for you to be and put yourself in a state where you are being at least self-acceptance. You don't have to be, I'm not talking about oversharing. It's not about going on dates and oversharing and letting them in know everything about you. It's more about self-acceptance of where you are, who you are as a person. It's about letting things go and surrendering to self and moving forward instead of being stuck in the past and the experiences that you've had prior. We're not going to concern about him. It's not about him. It's about you. Because what's going to happen, you continue to be you, and you're going to attract in the right high quality men for you. Maybe he isn't the right guy for you, but you'll never know if you demagnetize yourself to men. You'll never know if you have certain beliefs surrounding men. You'll never know he's a good guy if you have the belief that all good men are taken, or that all men cheat, or that all men are dogs. You'll never know. What will happen if you stand still and hold the pose and just be in self-centered and focusing on self, you will attract the right type of men, the money, the marriage, the love, the abundance. But you have to get yourself right. You don't worry about the man. The man is not, he's a non-factor in this conversation. Men are a non-factor in this conversation because the focus is on you having what you want. He has to figure out how to get what he wants. We're not worried about him. What we're going to do is focus on getting ourselves to a place where we're not going on dates and only thing a man can feel from us is fear, disgust, depression, anger. As long as he feels these things from you, he doesn't have to get the story from you. You are exuding the story. You're amplifying your story. It's oozing through your pores. A lot of things you do, you let men know that you've been hurt. So he doesn't have to hear the story. He doesn't have to hear the rundown of you being hurt, because I think a lot of women don't realize men are super observant. They read you. They read you to be able to tell that you've had these situations or experiences based on what the interaction that you have with him. If you're the type of person who's shut down because you're so angry with men, and right now you're in your phase of hating men, men can feel that. Even if you go on those dates and you tell him, oh my gosh, I've never experienced anything. I've always been treated like a princess. I would love some women to chime in and talk about how that doesn't work if you don't release these things, because we know it to be true. We know that we mess up when we have certain beliefs and emotions surrounding the experiences that we have with men. We know that we mess up in those interactions. So he can tell that she may be telling me there's something coming out her mouth, but her body language, her energy, her communication is telling me something different. Her energy, her interactions are telling me that she's had a lot of bad experiences with men. That's the reason why she's so closed off. Her interactions and communication with me is telling me that she's really angry at men and she doesn't trust them at all based off the things she's telling me. You telling yourself without telling the story. You know the story. You know what happened to yourself. You know the experiences that you have with men. But when you hold on to those things and you do not release them, you do not get to a place of self-acceptance. I've talked to women where they have built up resentment, anger, bitterness towards men, and then they're wondering why men are running for the hills, why men are fleeing from them, why are they getting men that are, reflecting that back to them. Everything that you currently have, everything in front of you, everything that you're experiencing, your reality is of your best thinking. And so if you haven't dealt or done any of the work surrounding these things, you demagnetize yourself for the things that you desire, the things that you want. Money seems to be the very easiest thing for women, because regardless if women want money to be magnetized to them and flow, women understand that I can still go work for it. And since they know they can go work for it, they don't recognize the connection that men, money, marriage, love, abundance, all these things are on the same energetic wavelength. All of them are obtainable. The reason why you're blocked is because you demagnetize yourself from the men. You demagnetize yourself, therefore, for marriage. And you don't have to, but you have to release these things. There's a good reason why, and here comes a spiritual component of this also. There's a good reason why in every spiritual text and every religious text, they tell you to release bitterness, anger, and resentment, because most texts will tell you that you cannot be heard. The connection that you have between yourself and God is blocked. Your prayers is not heard when you have these things happening. So you have to release these things. And I don't think we've been taught to release. We've been taught to carry. We've been taught to get up and continue to go on and just continue to carry that experience in our heart and our bodies, and until it affects us in a physical way. Most women don't even pay attention to the fear that they carry, the anger, the resentment, the bitterness that they carry, until it starts to affect their health. Then they start to figure out, what can I do? But every spiritual text and religious text always tell you to remove all the blocks so you can magnetize yourself for the thing. And it has nothing to do with the men. Set aside men. This is all about women today. We only concern ourselves about your needs and your desires and your wants. And you don't concern yourself about how you show up, how he is going to be concerned about how you show up. Concern yourself about actually being felt when you show up. Having him to actually feel your energy in truth and in an authentic way, versus you having to put on a facade or a mask in order to pretend that you're something that you have not even began the journey on. So all of the tips I can give you, the very first thing I'm going to tell you is remove all the blocks between you and the thing that you want. If you want men, money, marriage, happiness, joy, whatever it is, remove the blocks. There is some belief that's preventing you from moving forward. Maybe you have a belief for, if it's a man, you might have a belief that the men are all, the good men are all gone, or the good men are all, there are no good men. They're all men cheat. Or maybe it's the money, where you feel like money is hard to get. Money is, you have to work hard to have money. You have to get it out the mud to have anything. Or maybe it's the marriage. Maybe you've seen so many marriages crumble that you have so many bad beliefs surrounding marriage. I have a lot of experience of working with women who date millionaires and they cannot get the proposal. They've never received a proposal. They know how to attract men in. They know how to bring men into them, but they do not know how to get the proposal. And usually it's a block for the marriage thing. They're demagnetized for marriage. What happens is when you dig a little deeper, you find out that they believe that when a man gets married, he kind of loses interest. They're scared of that. They're fearful that if they attach himself to this man, he's going to lose interest, or he's going to leave her, or he's going to abandon her. And these things demagnetize you for marriage. So even if the woman doesn't go and say, hey, I'm scared you're going to leave me, I'm scared you're going to abandon me, you do it in little ways. Maybe you're the type of girl be having this, you got to know where he's at all times. Maybe you need him to call you all day, or you'll have to talk 24/7. Your wound is being broadcasted to this man. And men read women very well. They observe and they realize that even if you come in this space, you tell them, I be treated like a princess. Men treat me well. I've always had nothing. I've dated nothing but high quality men. Your interactions, your communication, your energy, your the way that you respond to him tells him everything he needs to know. And in order to correct it, release it. It's just that easy and just that hard. Instead of carrying the fear of abandonment or the fear that a man is going to do the same thing he did in the past, release it so that you can be felt, so that you can go on. And also, not just releasing it so that you can be felt, releasing it so that there's no block to your intuitive nature. That is another reason I found that women intuition is blocked, because they don't feel that they can trust themselves. So they tend to block off the most important parts of themselves. So even their intuition hasn't been affected because they feel like they made bad decisions in the past, they're going to repeat that same scenario, and they're scared of doing so. So do it so that you can be felt, but also do it so that you can have that connection with intuition. So you can have that connection with God, so that you can connect with self overall, so that you can make good decisions. So you don't just depend on questions. You don't have to depend on questions. That's the beauty of this. You don't have to depend on questions. I don't even suggest that women ask a lot of questions while they're dating in the very beginning. And there's a reason for that, because he's going to tell them himself. Your intuition is going to tell him also. You're going to be guided by something higher than yourself. You start asking questions when it starts to get a little bit more serious. So I'm not even going down that path because that may be confusing to some people who are still on the journey. But women who are in my container and they work with me personally, they know I tell them don't ask a lot of questions. If you want to ask a question, you just have to. You can't resist. Ask one question a date. There's a reason for that, because you want to keep him out of his head and into his body. The more that he's out of his head and thinking or trying to outthink you, the more that he's in his body, the more that you can kind of use your intuitive nature to gauge whether he's telling the truth or he's lying to you, or to gauge if it's not going to work or it's going to work. You have that connection. Then they tell them themselves also. Men talk a whole lot when you allow them to talk. But you don't have to reject marriage or men because you feel like it's hard. Men are easy. Marriage is easy. Money is easy. Everything that you view as easy will be easy to obtain. Everything that you view as hard will be hard to obtain. And you can magnetize yourself for anything, because all these things that you desire are on the same energetic wavelength. That's the reason why I showed you that diagram, because I want you to see the ascending emotions and the descending emotions. The descending emotions constrict you. They pull you in and they put you in a place of in your head and in your thinking, where you're overthinking things, where you're in your what ifs, where you're in your confusion, versus when you are ascending, you're being felt. People are being drawn to you. You are attracting things to you. You're magnetized to any and everything that you desire. There is no reason why, if you have money, you can't have men. If you have men, you can't have marriage. The reason why you can't is because you have stories, you have beliefs that are preventing you and demagnetize you from that thing. If you were to dig a little deeper and actually not run away from the work, stop running away from the work. I'm gonna say it again. Stop running away from the work. The more that you run away from the work, the longer it's gonna take you to get over the thing, release it, and magnetize yourself for the things you want. Like if you keep listening to these people who are telling you that to get these things and you don't release anything and you're not letting things go and you're just carrying all of that build up, those build up emotions of fear and anger and resentment and bitterness, and you continue to carry that, it's gonna affect your health eventually. It's gonna affect how you show up and what you receive and what you're magnetizing, what you attract. It's not even gonna give you the full depth of masculinity and men that you desire. So stop running away from the work because it requires a little work. There is no shortcut into getting the things that you want to be able to hypnotize men, money, and marriage. You can be beautiful, but if you are still operating from resentment or bitterness or anger, these things prevent you from showing up in an authentic way. They prevent you from having authentic conversation, open conversation. It even prevents you from having or showing any type of vulnerability. This is the reason why some women have a hard time saying how you truly feel about something. You want to hide it. You want to pretend you don't feel anything versus saying, I feel uncomfortable. Like this is making me feel sick. I really don't like this. Like you're running away from vulnerability. Vulnerability is not you oversharing your past. It's not you oversharing your experiences. It's not oversharing your anger for men. Vulnerability is authentically saying, hey, I feel I'm upset about this. Like I don't like that. I don't like the way that was said. I don't like the way that was done. And when men can't feel that vulnerability from you, because I know most times on social media, y'all have painted men as being the boogeyman or some mastermind or someone who just is super evil when men aren't that. Men are the most romantic people, creatures, beings that you ever met in your life. They're super romantic, they're super loving, they're super want to give you everything that you want. But my beliefs have attracted high quality providers in my life. I've never experienced a man that will not or won't provide. But that's because of my beliefs. Since it's those, I have those beliefs. When I go out or when I interact with men, they're gonna get the joy, the happiness, the genuineness from me. And then they're going to be more apt to help me and to grab my bags or assist me or pay for me or save me or do things for me because they're feeling that from me. Versus if I'm walking around angry and constricted in my body and constricted in how I let my vulnerability be felt or any of my feelings or shut down, and they don't get that from me. And there's a big difference. If you want to magnetize yourself to any and everything, they all require the same type of energy. They all require the same thing. If you stop running away from the work and just do the work, literally the work doesn't, I don't know if I have any pedestal wives or any circle members in here. If you don't mind dropping your experiences doing the work for yourself and let other women know the type of things that you've seen happen based off you doing the work for yourself. This is not about him. It's not about man, because men will always be around. It's about bringing the right type of high quality men to you. But that starts with you. It starts with your energy and where you're vibrating at. If you're vibrating on fear, depression, anxiety, anger, those things are repelling. That is the block. That is what's making sure you're not magnetized for men. And that's the reason why I say some women, they're magnetized for men because they're so playful and joyful and just fun to be around. So they bring men in very easily. What happens is if they have beliefs around marriage, then they can't get the proposal because when they're getting closer, she tends to draw away from him. She tends to, dig into her distrust of men, or excuse me, not men, of marriage, because of maybe the experiences or the things she's seen from married people. I've heard it all the time on social media where some women are like, and I get it, because why does social media show the worst of marriage? They do. You literally have to dig to get great examples of marriage because of the fact that negativity sells. So they're going to show you the worst and worst of marriage, and they're not going to show you the positive things that marriage do. I try to show you that on Instagram, but it's also hard because I have hard times finding it myself. Because most of the time what happens, people are happy in marriage, they're not showcasing it. They're not on social media. The ones who are unhappy, they're loud and proud and on social media. So they're easier to find than the ones who are happy. And so I get it why that can affect your beliefs. So while you're in this process of changing your beliefs, change your algorithm. Get away from that echo chamber because it's affecting what you believe and it's affecting how you show up. It's affecting what you resonate. It's affecting the energetic levels that you put out when it comes to men. If you want to be a magnet, you want to attract everything. I just want to know. I'm going to ask a serious question. I want a serious answer. I'm really serious in this moment. Do you want to attract things or do you want to push for it? Do you want to attract things or do you want to push and force things to happen for you? I want to know. Drop your comment in the chat. Do you want to attract it and have it be easy? Or do you want to push, force, and fight to get things? Let me know. Because if you want to push, force, and fight, this video probably isn't for you. Like what you probably need to go is find you a shortcut, find you some things that you can do, and you're going to push, force, and fight. You're going to fight to get it. I'm more along the lines, I'm a lazy woman. Okay. There I said it. I like ease. I like ease. I like pleasure. I like fun. I don't want to fight, force, and try to fight to get something. And so I would rather magnetize myself for it and have it be drawn to me and have it to come in my world. And then I can choose to accept it or not. Versus I have to go out into the world and have to fight, argue, push, and force to get something to work for me because I want it so bad. And when you push, force, and fight to get something, you're not going to get what you think you're going to get. It's not going to be what you want. Hi, Layla. I'm not sure if I'm saying your name right. I apologize if I'm saying it wrong. Daisy, my testimony is too long to post here, but I will definitely share in the comments. Share it, because women need to know and stop running from the work. Like women run from the work because they feel like that there's a shortcut that's going to take them to getting the thing faster. When you can literally just feel and just let those emotions in your body, feel them, cry them, scream them out, break things, and release it and let it go. And now you can show up with more authentic energy, more energy where you're open, more energy where it can be felt. You can show up with more joy, which draws more people in versus your anger. Your anger isn't doing anything for you. Your bitterness isn't doing anything for you. Your resentment isn't doing anything for you. Not only are you blocking yourself off and demagnetizing yourself from the things that you want, if you believe in God, then you're also not being heard. I manifested money and the type of men that I see it that I want to date. The work. And I'm going to tell you, there is no shortcut. I had to get rid of my own anger. Like I was angry. I was angry for a while. I had to get rid of my anger as a young woman. I was angry because I didn't have the family that I wanted, the family structure that I wanted. My father died. I was angry because I felt like I had missed out on the father-daughter situation. I was angry. So I had that anger, and the anger that I had, the way it resonated came out with walls. It came up where I couldn't really connect with people, not in the way I needed to connect, not the way that I couldn't really use my intuition, not the way I needed to use my intuition. I couldn't really sit in prayer and meditation, not the way I needed to be in prayer and meditation. So all of these descending emotions, they block you from being able to get and be magnetized for the things that you want. I would say to the ladies, do the work. It is so worth it and life-changing. Yes, absolutely. It is life-changing. And that's the reason why I say I'm a spoiled girly. I'm a spoiled wife. Money comes easily. Marriage is happy and easy. Men are easy to deal with. And just being able to believe this and magnetize myself towards those things and being able to achieve and have abundance and have joy and have happiness and have laughter, that is to me, that's a beautiful life. And I want you all to have a beautiful life. I want you to all have a beautiful life. Like, just release it. Let it go. Surrender. Let it go. It's not going to kill you to feel your anger and to let it out. One of the things I gave my girls one time, she was super angry. And no matter what she did, she couldn't meditate. She really couldn't connect to meditate because her mind would not stay still. She couldn't really pray because she knew her heart wasn't in it. I literally had her go out here and go somewhere where you can just throw things around. I said, if you don't want to do it in your own home, and you need to release that anger, go somewhere, pay somebody to break something. They have that there. They have that available to you all. If you stay in America and you have a lot of anger and you want to get rid of it and you want to stop showing up in the way that's angry, because that shows up. And it shows up also in the way that you all speak about men, that you're still angry. And men are observant. They want to care for you. They want to provide for you. They want to protect you. They want to romance you. They want to love you. Men believe in love at first sight. They still do. But you have to release those emotions and remove all the blocks so you can be magnetized towards the things that you want. And then if you are a believer, then you can have that connection between you and God so he can hear your prayers, and so that you can meditate, so you can connect with your heart and your authentic self. And then you will have the life that you want. I guarantee you. That's one thing I can bank on. Can't promise you anything else. I don't have any other promises to give you, but I can give you, if you release and let go of the blocks that's blocking you and being magnetized toward the things you want to be magnetized towards, that if you do the work, you will be able to be magnetized to things you want. You will be able to live the life that you want. There's nothing that's going to be denied towards you. But if you continue to decide, I'm not going to do the work, you're going to gloss over the emotions and beliefs that you have, then you're going to continue to get and receive the same things you've been getting over and over and over and over. You're going to continue to have that cycle. Suzanne, the most precious gift I had was that I gained self-love and self-respect. Life becomes so easy now because I attract things to me. Yes, baby, we ain't fighting over here, are we? We're not fighting over here. We're not forcing over here. We're not trying to figure out what tricks or tactics or techniques to work on a man to get him to marry us and settle down with us and give us the things we want, when we can just attract the things that we want. And these things fit us and they're a better match versus the things that we fight for. Daisy said, yes, absolutely. I love hearing you all writing your testimony, because women need to know, just stop running away from the work. Stop running away from the work. I think this video is so popular because it has anything with men. It has the men in the title, but a lot of us are looking for shortcuts, and there is no shortcut. If you want to hypnotize men, money, and marriage, it's beyond your beauty. It's beyond you learning how to communicate with the man. It's beyond you trying to recognize a high quality man. It's beyond your standards. It's also beyond your boundaries. When you let go and release the beliefs that you had that were negative surrounding those things, you will have access to them. It's just that simple. We release the beliefs that you have surrounding men, telling yourself all the time that all the good men are gone, all men are dogs, all men cheat, there aren't any good men and they're already married, or telling yourself that money isn't easy, that you have to work hard for it. Money isn't hard to come by. Putting these things and these beliefs on yourself, demagnetize yourself from receiving them. Telling yourself that no one's happy, marriage doesn't matter, everyone's miserable in marriage. Telling yourself that everyone just cheats in marriage. These things will prevent you from receiving or being magnetized by those things. You won't receive them, not in the way that you think you're going to receive them. You're going to receive a dupe, the version of marriage or men or money that you don't want. But when you do the work and attract those things to you so you can have them, you will find more high quality men will approach you. Money will come easy. You won't have to work yourself into the dirt, into the grave to receive money. Money will come in unexpected ways. Money will flow because you will be in alignment with your life. So you're not working against yourself anymore. You're working with yourself. You're working with your environment. You're working with the people. You're working with your interaction. You're working with things instead of working against it. So you're going to receive a whole lot more. You're going to see things multiply around you. In marriage, proposals will just come out the woodwork. Like, you're going to be proposed to. I don't know how many times you'll be proposed to. And then it's up to you to decide whether you accept the proposal or not. But you have to get rid of those negative beliefs that you have. The negative beliefs that you have demagnetize you for the things that you want. If you truly want to magnetize yourself and you want to have things just come to you easily, stop running away from the work. Stop running away from your beliefs, because your beliefs still affect you. People can still feel your beliefs, because I know I can. I've taught myself how to read people, and I do it very well. I can always read when there's something wrong. That's the reason why at one point I had an influx of a whole bunch of women coming in that were dating millionaires, and they couldn't get the men to propose. We corrected that. Of course, now she's married with her millionaire, but we had to do the work, and we had to correct the beliefs that were there, that were demagnetizing her, that was showing up in ways that she didn't realize it showed up. You can't hide from a belief. You think you can, because we all think we can. We all think we're that good. You're not that good of an actress. You're not that good of an actress. It still shows up, either in the way that you talk about men, or the way that you talk to men, or the way that you, your body language, the way that you either lean away or lean towards men. Men can tell. They can observe how you've been treated based off all of that. They're not just listening to what you say. They understand. They're on the internet also, by the way. They're on the internet, so they hear the conversation being had about us, you know, pretending that we've never had any bad experiences with men. Suzanne said, inner work is mandatory. It's the foundation. Even if we succeed to attract that man or money, we won't be able to keep it. And this is an endless cycle. Absolutely. And then there's another component to this. And I think I think I said this in a workshop that we attended as, inner circle members. You do know that once you do the inner work so that you can remove all the blocks. But then once you become a couple, you're going to do some more inner work, and it's going to remove more blocks. And then you're going to get that final healing from your childhood. You're going to get that final healing from being a couple. So you're going to still have more work to do, even once you become a couple. So you might as well go ahead and get the tools. So once you have the tools, so once you do say yes to that God, that high quality God that's a producer, that's a provider, that's going to take care of you, that's going to be there for you, he's going to be there for you through thick and thin. You still need to have the tools, so you don't throw your marriage away because of the things that are happening as a couple. Because if you get together and y'all are together as a couple, there's little things that may come up. How to raise your children. Yes, you can have the conversation about how it's going to happen, how it's going to work out. But once it's actually happening and the kids are here, that is where y'all might have to come together and have another conversation. And you may have to use the tools of inner work to not try to override him and try to work with him instead. So learning the inner work now is going to be your foundation. So when you do become a couple and like little things pop up, you'll have the tools to deal with them. And then you have the tools to take your healing to a whole nother level. So I've been reading from the chat for the entire live stream. That is what I needed to say. Remove the blocks so that you can magnetize yourself for the things that you want. Start running away from the inner work. Inner work is not hard. It doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to be difficult. And it can literally be done with you and a piece of paper, or you and a therapist, or you releasing those emotions. It's not hard. It will be better for you to release these emotions and magnetize yourself for the things you want versus trying to force, pull, and try to maneuver and manipulate to get the things you want. That's the reason why I've never had to turn to forcing anything to work for me. I've never had to force a man to provide. I've never had to force a man to respect me. I've never had to force these things to work for me. I've never had to force, because I understand if I do my inner work, it's going to benefit the couple. It's going to benefit the marriage. It's going to benefit money. It's going to benefit my husband. It's going to benefit me overall. And I'm going to show up differently because I've done my inner work. All right. So if we don't have any other questions, I'm going to open up for questions or any comments. But thank you, Daisy and Suzanne. I appreciate you for dropping your testimony, because women need to know. Stop running. Just do it. Like you'll feel so much better. And then when you go out, you won't have to rely on such tricks or tips to get things done for yourself. Men will come. You will make a choice and a decision. But along men coming, the right man will come, because you only need one. So if we don't have any more comments or questions, I appreciate you ladies for being here all the way to the end. And I just wanted you to realize there's some other women who've already been where you are and they're still working. They have the tools to magnetize themselves for the things they want. And they've already seen their lives change. What practices do you recommend for inner work? My favorite practice of all time is journaling. I love journaling. You already know. I'm quite sure the members know. My in circle members know because you know I have tons of journal prompts within membership, and I tend to drop them at the end of videos or attached to the video. So journaling is my favorite. If you don't like journaling, you can do meditation. You can also do prayer. You can do just feeling the emotion is a start, especially if you have had a lot of experiences that left a bitter taste in your mouth. Maybe every experience you had with a man has been one of anger, where he is not doing things that's going to be helpful or he's done things to you. Then it's time to actually feel those things. But what we do, we are taught as humans across the board to just ignore it and just keep going, to just to be resilient and have grit. How many times I've heard have grit, have resilience, and just keep taking on damage basically over and over and over. But that damage has nowhere to go. All it does is build up into the body and it affects the body later on. It may affect it physically, where you may end up having some type of disease or you may get sick from it, or it may affect you being able to actually be felt. Like people really cannot feel your energy. Like some of those people who walk around with RBF, that is their natural state because they're numb on the inside. People can't feel them. So maybe you can start somewhere small, and maybe it's not journaling for you. Maybe instead of go through the most pivotal moments in your life where that anger is starting from and just feel it. You know, when they told you that you shouldn't have cried, you don't cry about it, release it. Maybe you need to let go of that anger by going to a place and just, hitting things and burning things down. Here's a funny story. Let me tell mine because I'm not above it. I use all these techniques and tactics for myself, for my inner work, so that I can release things. I remember when my grandmother had passed, I felt intense sadness and just anger. Like no one tells you that when you're grieving, you have a sense of, there's a side of it that's anger. After you get over the sadness, the other part of it is anger, where you're angry. And it's just being angry about it happening, about this person leaving you, about you being alone, about you feeling like you don't have nobody to love you anymore. Because she's my biggest advocate. I talk about her all the time on this page. I know right now she's smiling down on me from heaven. Okay, so I don't cry because I love her and I still miss her. But I felt like this intense anger, and I knew I couldn't just continue to carry it. I knew it would hurt me overall. I've been at this work for a very long time. I've been at this for since I was 25 years old, and I think I was probably early 40s when she passed. And what I did, I went out to my backyard, and you know how there's like some leaves out there, where leaves is all over the thing. I set them afire, and when I watched the fire, like the leaves catching a fire, and I just watched them burn, I could just feel my anger just kind of lessening. I could just feel it leaving my body. I could just feel all of that anger that I had in my body transferring over to that fire. And it helped me. It really helped me release that day. And so I could just go back to just normal grieving, because at that point, I was super angry about her being taken from me. And so I use all the things I teach you all. I taught myself first so I can teach you all. So I can teach you all how to be magnetized, how to get the things that you want. We'll have this on replay. Thanks. You're welcome. Yes. Thank you, Joy. I love making mood boards on a phone, computer, paper. It's very healing. Yes, that's another way. Joy just gave you another way to kind of release things, because you got it. The goal here is to get it out your body so it doesn't affect how you show up. Because the things that you think you're hiding, you're not. I swear, anytime that I've had one-on-ones, I can always feel if the woman is super angry or bitter, or she holds resentment. or if she's nonchalant and she just shut down and depressed. I can feel it. And so I work somewhat backwards when I can feel that, and work there first. And then we get into dating. Once we get into dating, then they start having things happening for them. They start having high quality men approach them. They start going on better quality dates. They start being respected by men and treated so much better by the environment and the people that they entertain or come across. It's a different life. Were you mad at God or at your grandmother because she left? Both. Both. I can be honest and be a woman and say I was mad at both. I was mad at both. But she it's not like she was young either. I just, just at that time in grief and somewhat delusional about her age, because she was about around 90. So it's a normal age. It's not like she was taken from me at a young age, but I felt like this is the woman that knows me and she loves me unconditionally. And who wants to lose a person that feels like that's your cheerleader and it's always there for you? You don't want to lose that person. Yeah, I got my husband, but unconditional love, where no matter what I do, like she's gonna sit here and just make me an egg sandwich and send me on my way, no matter what I do. I can say, Grandma, I went here and robbed the stove. And she'd probably say, That's all right, baby, it's gonna be okay. And make me an egg sandwich and send me on my way. And tell me, hey, babe, she'd be like, she'll give me probably a scripture too. On my way out the door, she'd give me a scripture and some love and tell me it's gonna be all right. Even though I could have robbed a store, I could have done something horrible. With her, it didn't matter. It didn't matter what I did. She accepted me, all of me, no matter what I did. Good, bad, the ugly, she was there for it all. So yeah, I was mad at both. I was mad at God. I was mad at my grandmother. I was mad at both of them. And I had to let it go. I had to let it go because I knew that anger can change you and it can change how you show up to people. And I didn't want people to feel my anger, because even in when people have built up anger, and I want y'all to chime in. Have you ever felt this? Have you ever been around a person that you can feel their anger, even if they're saying something that is happy? The anger that resides in their body comes out in the way that they communicate. Like even the way they communicate, like, God, they're so angry. Why is she so angry? Why is she so angry before breakfast? Why is she so angry and we're supposed to be having fun? And they're still angry. Even in the tone of voice, the anger comes out. Like you can't hide for what's going on in the background, what's going on in the dark. You can't hide what's going on behind the scenes, baby. It will come up and it resonates, and you demagnetize yourself for the things that you want. Instead of that man getting the woman who's joyful and playful and fun to be around, he gets the angry Barbie. He gets the angry, beautiful girl. And it comes out in her tone of voice. It comes out in her snappiness. It comes out in the way she speaks to him. It comes out in her energy where it's like, stay away. Give me distance. It comes out regardless. You can't hide from it. That's the reason why I'm going to always suggest the work. Yes. Can I sit here and say, just go in and pretend to be the girl that gets everything that you want, pretend that you have it all? You can go in and pretend, but no one's that good of an actress that the things that you hold in your body, your energy, will still betray you. It will still tell on you. It will still let other people know where you're coming from, especially if you get around an intuitive person like myself, a person who's truly connected to God, truly connected through meditation and prayer, truly connected to self. You're not going to be able to hide that from me, because I always know. I can always feel it. I can feel when there's nothing wrong, and she's just a happy-go-lucky person. Like she gets everything she wants. But that's also the results that she has too. When she's super magnetized, she gets the results anyway. She gets the men, she gets the marriage, she gets the money, she gets the love, she gets the happiness, she gets the playfulness, she gets the joy. She gets it all anyway. So she's not even complaining about any of those things. She just on to the next thing. Jazz said, it's a vibe. It is. It's a vibe. I've been around women like, why is she so angry? Like, why? Girl, why are you talking to me like you hate me or like I stole your milk or something? Why? Oh, I hurt you and I don't even know you. But I can feel your anger. How to check if you have blocks. You can tell if you have blocks because your blocks are going to be connected with your beliefs. Even if you're so disconnected from your body that you don't have the feelings, maybe there's a void there, maybe you're shut down, maybe you're disconnected, you're going to be able to check your beliefs. If you have beliefs, there are negative beliefs surrounding that thing, that is your block. So it's going to be easy to kind of find your block. You just have to work through it. You have to work through your block. And honestly, it doesn't take as much as you think. You work through the block, especially if you're self-aware and you're open to actually working through the block and not holding on. Like you want to let go of your past and you want to move forward. You no longer want to continue to experience the life that you experienced. You want to experience something different. Now you're on to experiencing abundance, experiencing joy, experiencing happiness, experiencing love, experiencing having more than enough money, being experiencing high quality men and dating them, experiencing marriage with full of joy and happiness and fun. So it's going to be your beliefs. Check your beliefs. Your beliefs are going to open you up to your blocks. And thank you, Jazz, for these questions. Thank you, ladies, for the questions that you're putting in the comment section. It helps. It definitely, it's going to definitely help other women who come across this video and you're like, what's going on here? Remove your blocks and become magnetized to the things you want. So things will be attracted to you. Let high quality men be attracted to you. Let money be attracted to you. Let marriage be attracted to you. Let love be attracted to you. Let abundance be attracted to you. Let happiness be attracted to you. Let joy be attracted to you. Be open to receive and be attracted to all of these things instead of being constricted and closed off and stewing in your bitterness or anger or resentment. Let it go. Let it go. There's so much more ahead of you and not behind you. So if there aren't any other questions, we've already been here an hour and like, I don't know, 2 minutes, hour and 2 minutes. But stop running away from the work. Trust me, once you get started, it's going to become a thing for you. You're going to enjoy it because you're going to start opening yourself up to the things that you're attracted, that's going to be attracted to you. Being fake is not sustainable for majority of us. We must change and embody it for real, really be her. Absolutely. I would prefer to be her versus to be a fake or to be a fraud or be a phony. I don't want to go in and just look at what other people are doing, which is just an image of what her looks like to them. Because you're her, you becoming that girl, you becoming that girl, you becoming her, it's going to be looking different than me becoming her, than me becoming that girl. So you're going to be yourself, your authentic self, and embody those things versus trying to pick and choose and just put all these things on that isn't you. Yes, you only live once. Can a lack of self-esteem and self-confidence be a block? Yes, it can. Because we will show up in that way. We will show up in a way. One of the ways I've seen that women show up when they lack self-confidence or self-esteem is that they're scared of losing him. They will change themselves. They will prove themselves. They will earn. They will do anything not to lose the guy. The number one question when I come across those women who have that issue and they're resonating, exuding lack of self-esteem and lack of self-confidence is that they are more concerned with losing him. They're more concerned about losing that guy instead of the guy losing them. And so they're willing to do things that they normally wouldn't do in order to hold on to that guy. And I've seen it over and over. So if that definitely is a block. It shows up different ways. It may also show up in, hey, I got to know where my man is 24/7. I got to know what he's doing 24/7. I got to talk to him 24/7 because you are insecure and you feel like that someone's going to come over and steal your man. You feel like someone's going to take him from you. So you do things and it shows up anyway. So you can't hide. You can pretend to be self-confident. You can pretend to have self-esteem. But when you don't, it shows up in different ways. And you can't hide your true self. Your true self will always come to the forefront. It just comes in the forefront, not maybe in your communication, but in the way you do things. So that is definitely a block. And I would say, do the work, surround yourself with esteem, surround yourself confidence, so you can magnetize yourself for the things that you want. So you can have the things that you want, because you're so much capable of having everything that you want. And if you all are wanting to take this further, because this video is a co-creator mastermind video, it will be going in a co-creator mastermind. This is a mastermind that I created for women, where we're going to go ahead and dig deeper into these things. I want to make you so magnetized that you have the touch of Midas. I want you to be able to touch things and it turn to gold. I want you to be able to attract anything that you want in your world. I want you to live a life full of abundance. I want you to have the love in your life, and the money that you desire, and have the abundance and happiness and joy that you want. So we're going to be going deeper in having these conversations in my mastermind coming up in January. It already has module 1. My numbers are already filling up, and I know I'm going to have to close down before the first live stream before we have the first live stream. So you want to go ahead and secure your spot. I dropped the link in the chat. We're going to touch on so much in that mastermind. It's going to give me the freedom to be able to touch on conversations and topics that I can't touch on social media. And I'm so excited about it. We're going to have so much fun in that mastermind. But the mastermind is only for women. And if you're an inner circle member, you reach out to me so you can get your discount for the mastermind, since it's not a part of membership. But if we are ready to change and you want to become that girl, if you're tired of watching other people become that girl, you're tired of watching other people's lives on social media, I don't know how y'all do it. I can't sit here and watch other people live the life that I want. I have to and want to and desire living that life. I cannot sit back and just be a passenger in life. I have to live it. I want to be the girl that's going on those luxury vacations. I want to be the girl that's having, attracting, and bringing in high quality men. I want to be that girl. And I will do the work to be that girl. I don't want to constantly just watch other people on social media. I don't know how y'all do it. How do y'all sit back and watch other people live the life that you want when you can have the life also? The difference between you and her is that she figured out what she needed to work on, and she did it. She didn't run away from the work. She did the work so she can have the thing. You're running away from it, and you're not taking the time and effort to do the work. Adding that, since I have been loving my level of life, my discernment has had to level up as well. Everyone is attracted to me. Men, women, exes, money, abundance. So I had to get really picky. Amen. Yes, girl. Yes. Like they don't understand. They don't understand just taking a little bit of time every day for yourself. I take longer because I'm more into like spirituality and stuff. So I take a little bit longer. You can literally set aside 15 minutes every single day to kind of dive into your inner work. Like you don't have to take an hour. I take an hour because I have the time. I created the reality that I have so that I can have time to be able to get in meditation and get into prayer. That I can have time to be able to journal. I can have time to be able to bring my energy back to myself. I can have time to do those things, but you don't have to do it to that level. You can literally set aside 15 minutes every single day just to do a little bit of your inner work. And you're going to see the changes day by day, minute by minute, hour by hour. You're going to see the changes in your life. You're going to see that things are going to be more attractive to you because you're going to be that shiny thing now. Now you're going to light up the world instead of hide behind or, trying to hide behind things that don't matter. Are you still going to do the communication video? I seen it upcoming, but now I don't see it. I am going to do it. It should be up there still. I'm going to do the communication video. I'm going to talk about bold, beautiful communication. Absolutely. I like watching it because I use it for inspiration. Like if they can do it, I can do it too. But you're right. We can't just watch us. We have to do it too. Absolutely. And I like the way you put that, Daisy B, because if there's another level that I want, yes, I don't mind watching people do it. But I can't sit back and watch other people live the life that I want. I don't have that in me. A lot of women are stronger than I am, apparently. Because if I see and desire to go to Mexico, I'm going to book the trip to go to Mexico. Like I don't want to live a life where I'm a passenger in it. I want to actually live life. And I like the way you put it, Daisy B, inspiration. So I don't mind looking at things for inspiration and looking at things saying, hey, that's going to be my next spot. That's going to be my next vacation spot. That's going to be the next thing I do to go have fun. So that's a great way to look at it. And that's the way I can look at it too, is inspiration also. But there's no way I'm going to sit here and watch all these girlies go on high quality dates, go to 5-star restaurants, go shopping with that guy, and not want that for myself. I don't know how women do it. A lot of women are built for tough. They're stronger than I am apparently, because I am not doing it. If it's not for inspiration, for me to decide, hey, that's something I can do next, there's no way I'm just going to watch other people live life. I don't know how people do it. I can't do it. But absolutely, inspiration for the win. Um, but yeah, I do have an upcoming. There's a video coming up. I'm not sure what day I moved it to. I had to move it. One thing about me, since I am connected, and I feel like God does download things into me to talk about first. I talk about those things first, and I may move a video back some. So that's what happens to the communication video. I watched others for years before I started doing my own work, because whenever people mention inner work, I would think, well, I'm perfect. I don't have to work to do that. Was my first block. Ego. Oh my gosh. Dale 340. You just spoke a word. See, that's why I love talking to you ladies. You just spoke a word. I didn't even bring up the ego could be a block, right? I didn't even talk about the fact that your own ego could be preventing you from being magnetized to the things that you want, especially when you think that you're perfect, or that you don't have anything to learn, or that you can't learn anything new. If you think you can't teach an old dog new tricks, well, that's a belief, and you're going to show up in that way. And that is ego. So absolutely, thank you for bringing it up. That's the reason why I have my pedestal wives, my inner circle members in the building, because they definitely can even make sure that we don't forget something in this conversation. Your ego can be preventing you from having the things you want. Absolutely. Your ego can stop you from your next level up. Thinking that you're perfect, thinking that you don't have anything to work on, thinking that the other, like a lot of times ego will trick you into believing that you don't have to do things, you don't have to go through the process that other women are going through. You feel like there's a shortcut. That's ego. And that's what I think a lot of women suffering from, ego. So they feel like, oh, there's a shortcut somewhere. I'm going to find it. So I'm going to watch all of these videos about the same thing, hoping, praying that I stumble across something that's going to give me the shortcut. That is ego, and it's a trick. It's lying to you. Majority of us that have all the things that we want, all the things that we desire, we remove the blocks so that we can be magnetized for it, so we can attract it, so we can bring it into our reality. That is how we have it. But you may be tricked in thinking that they have it because she's more beautiful than you are, or that she's younger than you, or that she makes more money than you, or that she has more experience than you, or that she's more feminine than you. That is the ego protecting you, because no woman is more beautiful than you, that it means that you can't be magnetized to have the things that you want. No woman has more money than you, that you can't be magnetized to have the things that you want. No woman can have more experience than you, and you can't be magnetized to have things that you want. Ego will lie to you. Your ego will tell you so many lies, and it will prevent you from leveling up, because y'all have to realize your ego is a way of protection. It protects you. It tries to make sure that you're not dealing with things that will cause pain. And level up somewhat is painful in the very beginning, because you're actually addressing the things that you're hiding from. You're addressing the anger that you push down. You're addressing the bitterness. You're addressing the resentment. You're addressing the unhappiness. You're addressing all the things that you pushed down and you pretended it didn't exist. So it's a little painful, and your ego will tell you all these things of why this woman has this and you don't. And it'll stop you from doing the work to level up, to live your best life, to attract things that you want in life. So thank you, Dale 340. Thank you, because that point had to be made. Because I was like, oh, I'm ready to go ahead and end the stream because I'm going to go out to lunch. You all know when you create a life and your reality in the way that is desired and everything is attracted to you, you live a good life. So I was going to go to lunch, but I just couldn't end the live stream. I don't know what I was waiting for. I think that's the comment that I was waiting for. I was waiting on that comment. I was waiting on that comment for me to read that comment out so that we can get ready to end the live stream. Now I know I have nothing else to add. I said everything I needed to say. You can have men, money, and marriage. You can monetize yourself to have all of your dreams happen for you. You don't have to settle for things that you don't desire. Do you believe that inner work is ever achieved to the point where you think you don't need to do it anymore, or is it an ongoing process that never stops? Um, Inner work, I think you get to a place where you feel like everything is going well and you kind of pause on inner work, but then life is going to continue to life. Things are going to continue to come up. And then at that point, since you've done inner work so long, you just use the tools that you used in the past. So I feel like that it's an ongoing process, but maybe on your journey, you may feel like I don't need it right now. I don't need it in this moment. I made it a part of my life. I made it a part of my lifestyle because I just know that I have interactions with women. I have one-on-ones. I work with women, and so some of their stuff, and I'm the type of person I tend to carry and bring on their stuff to me, and so I have to release it. I have to release my frustration with that client, or I have to release my heartbreak with that client, the things that she's talked about. So I can have continuous ongoing inner work. But there have been, when I wasn't doing this, there's been times and occasions in my life where I was like, okay, I don't need to do anything. I can kind of take a pause and I can just be in flow, in alignment, and just enjoy and just get pleasure from life. But then something will come up, maybe something between me and my kids, or something come up, and I have to work through it because maybe it brought back something I had in childhood, or something that was said or done in childhood, or maybe something come up with my husband, and instead of me, pulling forward my ego, maybe I have to figure out how to get back in the place of my being his complement. So there's going to be ongoing. The long-winded answer that I gave you, just go with ongoing, because you're going to have things come up. Hepburn, have you heard of human design? I absolutely have. I'm just not as, I don't have all the information. I haven't done enough studying in human design to really even teach it or have the understanding of it to even understand it myself properly. Only thing I know about my own human design, because I did take the test, was that I was a manifester. That is it. That's the only thing I know about it. I don't really understand how that works or what that means. And Jazz, got you. Thank you. You're welcome. So, did that answer your question? Yeah, because I heard of it. I've heard of human design. I just don't understand it well enough to teach it. I don't even understand what it means for me being a manifester according to human design. I don't have enough background information on it either. And I'm one of those ones, I like to kind of really dive in, get all the information and all the learning and understanding from it before I even have a conversation about it on my page. I guess some people who do understand human design, if you want to let me know in the comment section after this video, and let me know more about what my human design is, because I just know what mine was when I took the test. Mine is a manifester. Interesting. Thanks. Yes, I've been doing some research on just energy in general. Yes. Yeah, I looked into it. I just don't have enough information to really say, hey, let me talk more about human design. But I do know what I am. All right, so we definitely are an hour and 18 minutes, and I definitely want to go to lunch, and it is almost 3 o'clock. So let me go ahead and get ready to close this live stream out. Thank you all for being here. If you want to go ahead and join the Co-Creator Mastermind, you want access to Module 1 and all of the bonus videos that are there, go ahead and click the link in the chat. I'm going to also leave the link on the video. Go ahead and secure your spot, because I love intimate spaces. Once I get to my magic number, and I'll know when I see it, I'm going to close enrollment into the mastermind. We're going to have so much fun. When you walk away from that after the 6 weeks of that mastermind, you're going to have that Midas touch. We're going to teach you how to turn things to gold and bring and attract the things that you want. At first, I wanted to just talk about money in there, but I decided, why am I just talking about money? It's stupid. Because money, marriage, men, relationship, all of them require the same energetic level. They still require the same vibration to bring in. So let's go ahead and just talk about co-creating and creating the life and reality that you want for your world. And that's what we're going to be doing in a Co-Creator Mastermind. And you're going to get to work with me in a more intimate space. So I'm going to see you all on the next one. You all have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Bye.